When I tell people that I grew up in Mount Druitt and that I went to school in Bidwell, like there was a bit of a rep that Bidwell had, that the kids were troubled and that there were like constant fights and that it was just like an unsafe place for young people. And I also grew up in housing commission, so like it really fits into what, you know, people assume, or the stereotype of what Mount Druitt is. I didn't have that experience growing up. My parents immigrated to Australia in the late 80s and I grew up in housing, but I never felt like I fitted the mold of what people assumed people living in housing were like. Like my parents were very strict. I was very sheltered. Like I was never really allowed out. And I wonder whether a lot of that had to do with like the stigma and the perception that a lot of people had of Mount Druitt and the kids that were growing up in the area. I think it still happens today where I find the media like are often portraying a very similar narrative of Western Sydney. It kind of impacts the things that we go for and the opportunities that we take up because we don't have the confidence to do it. I've always been really interested in directing and filmmaking. When I was in year 8, year 9, like I started drama classes at my school, and I was really lucky that my school offered that program because I know a lot of schools in Western Sydney don't. I really enjoyed that, but I never thought it was something that I could do. You didn't see yourself represented on TV, you didn't see yourself represented in music, so it was hard for me to imagine that life.
Vuelan mariposas por doquier en mi jardín. Vuelan amarillas, blancas, negras.
Las Rosas came out of the writers group Curious Works, an idea around 2 sisters that were growing up in Mount Druitt who were planning quinceañera, which is a 15th birthday party to celebrate, you know, a young girl going into womanhood.
Mama, I really wish we didn't have to celebrate Anna's birthday without you.
Mum always said to put familia above everything.
And the idea was to kind of just like show the diversity of what it's like growing up in Western Sydney, where you have friends from all walks of life. You come together to celebrate this custom that they're not quite familiar with, but they're really keen to be part of.
You like it, babe?
It's perfect.
I want this party.
What are you talking about? It's your quinceañera.
I said I don't want this dumb party.
Well, it's not up to you.
Then go on having it without me.
The story was based, like, you know, housing commission house in Mount Druitt, like obviously a bit based on my story. That's how we decided that we were going to film it at my parents' house. At the time, my room was very pink. And so like, yeah, great, we'll film here. So we shot the work across 2 weeks with completely emerging crew. And so we're all very new to it, like kind of testing it out. And I really loved that. That's kind of what I like to portray in like my art and in my filmmaking and in the producing and the work that I do. Just shine a light on like all the incredible young people that are from Mount Druitt and who are doing really incredible things here, where like young people feel like they aren't fitting the mold of what society wants us to be, but we're like, well, you know what? So I'm going to create my own thing and I'm going to own it. I'm just going to do my own thing. And they're killing it. So I'm Daisy Montalvo. I'm an artist, or filmmaker and producer living out west in Mount Druitt. I'm currently working at PYT Fairfield, which stands for Powerhouse Youth Theatre. And then I work at Blacktown Arts. I'm the public programs officer there, supporting programs attached to their exhibitions.
There are 13 other Blacktown stories to hear, and you can see photos of everyone and read more about them on the website, impactstudios.edu/weareblacktown. We Are Blacktown is a UTS Impact Studios production. It's produced by Britta Jorgensen, Jane Curtis, and Celine Teo-Blockey. Research by Jackie May. Sound design by Melissa May. Podcast artwork by Alexandra Morris. Theme music is Beaming by Friday. The executive producer is Olivia Rosenman. The executive producer of Impact Studios is Sarah Gilbert. Thank you to everyone in Blacktown we spoke to. We Are Blacktown is part of an audio project embracing place-based principles called Welcome to Blacktown. This project is supported by the Paul Ramsey Foundation. My name is Angelica Ujinaka Salakis, and I've lived in the Blacktown local government area for most of my life. If you want to hear more about Blacktown, you can listen to my story in Sink or Swim, a podcast about staying cool in Western Sydney and learning to swim as an adult. It's the story of one hot Australian summer that doesn't match the postcard perfect image, and it's a window into our climate-changing future. Find it wherever you get your podcasts.
The sun is beaming, I'm sticking to the leather. I must be dreaming, there must be something